back. Today I'm really excited to share with you 4 different snack ideas that you can prepare for your entire family. I know you all have loved kids recipes that I have shared on this channel, and I become so happy when you guys email telling that your kid loved so and so recipe in this particular video and all that. For avocado chutney recently, I had received so many comments from you all. With these recipes that I'm going to be sharing here today, these have helped me so much over the past few days and weeks with my kids. Prepare a little bit in larger quantity and keep it in advance and keep it for your kids before they come looking for junk. And so these are all definitely healthy, and if you're new on this channel and if you haven't checked any other kids recipes on this channel, I have an entire playlist of that. You're free to check them out, and let's get started with today's recipe. The first recipe for today is a healthy cake recipe. Yes, a healthy cake that you can give for your kids along with their glass of milk in the evening. Now, can you imagine the happiness that your kids are going to have when you give it for them as a snack? I have experienced it, and you should definitely experience this as well. So definitely check this recipe and make it for your kids. Before getting started, I wanted to let you know that there is avocado in this recipe, and if by chance you don't have an access to avocado right now, you are free to use maida or any other flour, a healthy flour as well, atta or any other flour that you have in your pantry. So don't get disappointed if you do not have avocados, but definitely use it if you have it. Great source of healthy fat, and it's the yummiest cake ever. Check that recipe out and come back. So here I have my mixie, and I'm adding in 2 full eggs into it, 1 ripe avocado, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and scoop out 3 tablespoons of almond butter. If you want to use peanut butter here, you can use that as well. Let's add in a teaspoon of baking soda now, and about 1/3 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. A teaspoon of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt to taste. Now just give a very good blend in the mixie, and that's it. Add on this batter into any cake pan. I'm using a regular rectangular one here, and bake this at 350 Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. Just make sure it's completely baked, and serve it warm, or if you want to store it in the fridge after it cools down, that's also completely fine. Okay, didn't you enjoy that recipe? Do give this a thumbs up if you did, and make it for your kids. The next recipe is a healthy bun recipe. So Adi and Anjali love having this warm, fresh, homemade bun along with some butter and their cup of milk. It's so yummy. My mouth is watering right now thinking about this. But the reason why I started making this is because around 2 weeks back, when I went to the pantry to clean up, I saw this small package of bread that had gone unnoticed, and it had around 2 slices of bread, I think, but it was so shocking, surprising. Thing is that was completely unspoiled, and I'm sure it had been lying there for a couple of weeks, and it's really shocking that it still looks fresh. So I'm not telling that I'll never buy bread again, that's not possible, but right now, since we have a lot of time and we are exploring new recipes, baking recipes and all, so we started making a couple of batches of bread and buns. So this is one such product that I wanted to share with you as well. It's so yummy, so definitely check this recipe out. Okay, so for making that, here I have a cup of warm water and then about 1/3 cup of wheat bran. So wheat bran is a very good source of fiber. It's great to have in your pantry. It's good for treating issues like constipation, etc. And now for the sweetener, here adding in honey, that's about 1/3 cup, and about 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. So I have just powdered it now, and I'm just adding it here, and then about 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of salt. And at last 1/3 cup of oil, and then mix it up and let it stay for about 5 to 10 minutes. So while that mixture is staying, I'm having this stand mixer here, so adding about 1/4 cup of water into that, and 1 to 1.5 teaspoon of sugar inside it. Then a packet of yeast. Just mix it well, and then adding a cup of whole wheat flour. And then the mixture that we prepared earlier, it's ready to be added in. and then we are ready to make a soft dough out of it. So while the mixing is going on, I kept on adding a little bit of flour to help the dough form well. So just eyeball it and add a little bit of flour. That would take about 1 to 1.5 cups again. So it depends on how your dough is forming. So once we get a soft dough like this, we'll knead it well and then rest the dough for about 45 to 50 minutes. Then we are ready to make the buns out of it. Roll small balls out of this and let it stay on the baking sheet for some time, for about 20 to 25 minutes, and then preheat the oven at 350 Fahrenheit and bake it for about 15 minutes. You can brush a little milk over the buns or some egg mixture on the top so that you get a nice golden color. Okay, now the next recipe is going to be a healthy granola recipe. Now granola is so easy to prepare at home. You don't have to go out looking to buying this, and it's easily customizable as well. You can use your own ingredients, you can add or subtract anything that I have mentioned in this recipe, but I made a fruit granola this time because I wanted to use up some overripe strawberries and blueberries in my fridge, which was going to get spoiled. I didn't want that happening, and I quickly made this granola. Okay, so these were some strawberries and blueberries that were left over in the fridge. They were about to get soggy here and there, so I'm gonna put all of this in the oven and dehydrate it. Meanwhile, let's take here 2 cups of oats, a cup of almonds. You can cut them into pieces and add it as well if you don't want this big chunks like this. And then 2 cloves and star anise. I'm powdering it, and also adding a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 cup of coconut oil, 1/4 cup of maple syrup. You can use honey as well, and 2 tablespoons each of wheat germ and chia seeds. Just mix it all well. I also ended up adding some goji berries and dates into it. The fruits that we kept earlier have dried up well. So then I'm laying the oats mixture onto the baking tray and bake at 350 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes until slightly golden brown color, and nice aroma will come at this point of time. So take it out and had some roasted pumpkin seeds with me. It's already roasted, so that's why I'm adding it now. And also the dried fruits that we had earlier. We'll just mix everything together and cool it down and store it airtight for weeks together. So it's very easy to prepare, and homemade granola is much healthier as well. I give this in a little bowl along with a glass of milk. So they pour half of the milk into the bowl, drink it, or eat the dry granola as such. I don't care how they consume it, they're free to do it. But I'm really happy that this is a healthy and filling recipe for an evening snack. Now the last but not at all the least important recipe is going to be a healthy muffin recipe. Now this is something that you can prepare at the last minute as well, in the sense it's so easy to prepare. It takes just a few minutes. If your kids come to your kitchen asking for a snack, you can just ask them to go back to the restroom and wash their hands with soap and all, and come back and the snack will be ready. It's as simple as that. Okay, now for this recipe I made it gluten free and keto friendly as well. So if you are on a keto diet, you're free to eat this as well as a snack. It's nice, filling and tasty. Again, you can customize these ingredients that I have mentioned. If you want to subtract or add different things, you're free to. Totally customizable, but it's a very easy recipe to prepare, and I hope you try that out. So for making that, let's take 2 teaspoons of almond butter in a little bowl. It has a very nice runny consistency in comparison to peanut butter, but anyway, since we're going to melt it all together, peanut butter will also work for this. So this will have a very nice fluffy texture to that, similar to our khaman, dokla, etc. But this is high protein and a low carb dish. That's why it's going to be a great filling one. And then about 1.5 teaspoons of coconut oil. Mix it well, and then we shall break an egg and add to this. Here I'm also adding in coconut flour. This is great to have to add in some variety to the dishes that you prepare, but otherwise you can add in any other regular flour also. Just adding a tablespoon of this flour into this, and then adding in some salt, sprinkling some black pepper powder also, so we'll have some spicy savory dish here, and about 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and mix it really well. Yeah, so that's the only thing, is to make sure that everything is evenly distributed and this recipe will not go wrong. And then adding some chopped up carrots and bell pepper, small pieces of that, and you can use any vegetables here. I'm pouring this mixture onto a small pan, and then let's keep it in the microwave for about 2 minutes or so until it's done completely well inside as well. And yes, we have a yummy savory family snack. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed all these recipes. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you are new here and if you love these recipes. And I will see you all in my next one. Take care and bye.